Good morning, guys. We are in Tyler, Texas now on Interstate 20 heading eastbound. On our way to pick up our next load. A loaded chicken. We're here in Tyler at Sanderson Farms. I've been to this place a few times before. I believe I have video of all of the previous pickups on my channel. Anyway, I'm going to be picking up this load and it'll be going to Shafter, California, the Walmart distribution center there. Alright, so I'm on the back end of, well, not the back end of my shift, but more like about halfway through my shift at the moment. Around the first third of it, going over to the receiver and the U.S. cold storage in Fort Worth. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, check it out. I've got about about 130 or so mile trip or whatever the hell it is. It's actually about 130 right now, so I'm less than 10 miles away, so we'll call it 135 to 140 actual deadhead miles, somewhere in that ballpark. So anyway, you guys, if you saw the U.S. cold storage video, I intended to come down U.S. 287 from I-35W in Fort Worth to get over to I-20, but 287, the access road 287 was closed, so I ended up just taking I-30 across to State Route 360. That was a really good truck route. Get that down to I-20. Made a stop over at Blue Beacon in Dallas. Got my trailer washed down. Also got my tractor washed. And made another stop at Gloves and Van. Which is only about 25 miles from Tyler. Somewhere around there. Now, I've talked before about how when I do pickups, I normally will not max out my tanks. Unless there's special circumstances like, maybe as a produce shipper where they're going to load you as literally as heavy as they possibly can. And they actually want you to show up with a full tank of fuel because of that. Then you get a one like this here where I seem to recall before coming here that they actually want you to show up with at least 7/8 fuel. So most of the way full or actually full, whatever. They do tend to load heavy. I've never really had any problems with them yet myself. I haven't had to get any loads reworked or anything, but they do want you to show up heavy. So that is what it is. Alright, so there are a lot of drivers, especially owner-ops and lease-ops, who will insist on having a full tank of fuel because they want to be able to buy the cheapest fuel they can. This region here, it's really not a concern for one. Two, I don't advocate maxing out tanks before getting to a shipper because just in case they are heavy and you do end up overgross, there's a possibility that you'll be overgross by, not a huge amount, but enough where you're going to have to get reworked or something. Where if you show up with less fuel, you might be just under the limit or something where you don't have anything to worry about. Goes back to my aircraft maintenance days. Airplanes, we would only put as much fuel as absolutely necessary for them to complete that particular whatever flight they were on. Really only enough to complete the mission, and then about I think enough for 45 minutes of extra fuel. Really, the pilots would just tell us how much well, they would tell our scheduling, it says, people how many, how much fuel was needed. Or actually, no, it would tell us to, yeah, because our, well, I mean, yeah, we'd get the info, we needed a certain amount on because of, whatever the next mission is that the aircraft is going to be used for. So when I worked on KC-135s, yeah, they can hold, I can't remember how much fuel, a couple 100,000 pounds of fuel, something like that. I don't remember the exact amount because I was never a flight line crew chief on them. It's been like 7 years since I retired, so I'm kind of brain farting a little bit on the, and trying to do the numbers on the fuel quantities, but I don't even clearly remember the fuel quantities in each of the tanks. Anyway, not important. You know, the aircraft can hold a lot of fuel, and we only put so much in. And you know, and the more fuel you put in, the less capacity you have to carry cargo. And you know, when it came to military flights, the cargo always came first. You know, if you had to take on less fuel and then either get air refueling and fly on the way, you know, if your aircraft even was air refuelable, or if you had to make extra stops along the way, then so be it. You have to make those extra stops. Alright, so I don't have too much I can really talk about on the trucking side, I guess, because I just did that delivery to U.S. cold storage not too long ago. We're only a couple miles away, so and I know some of you guys like to hear some of the aircraft story stuff, so maybe I'll add in one of those. Speaking of that, heavy load. I had one time I was working at Navis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson. That's where I was stationed. And the space shuttle, which one was it? Discovery, I think, if I remember right. I could be wrong. It had landed at Edwards Air Force Base. This would have been in the mid to late 90s, 96, 97, I don't know, somewhere around that time frame. But it landed at Edwards, and they were going to fly. They were flying it back to Cape Canaveral on that 747 that they used for it. And now, normally a 747 can easily fly all the way across the Atlantic, even from the West Coast. But because they had this, the space shuttle piggybacked onto it, and it's a heavy load, they had they weren't able to carry much fuel. I think it mainly had to do with how much, right here, this, by the way, this exit here, 565 FM 2015 is the one we're going to use here. So that aircraft had two problems. One, because of how heavy the load was, it needed a shitload of runway to get off the ground. I don't know if it was actually taken off at its max takeoff weight, but I know it was, I just know it was heavy enough that, come on dude, you ever gonna go? Oh, we're waiting on that car, okay. Make this turn here, looking good. So anyway, they couldn't take anywhere near as much fuel on the aircraft as they normally would have, because there's such a huge, massive payload on it. So they end up just putting a small amount of fuel on, and I think I'd heard they were planning to make like 2 or 3 stops along the way to Florida, where normally they would have only been like halfway through what, They could have been able to like only go through half a tank of fuel, whatever, on a normal load. Okay, we're gonna make a left turn right up here. Yeah, it's right here. Hard to see at night. There was that driveway that I just passed there, and it was kind of throwing me off too. Way on this car. Anyway, yeah, I heard they were supposed to make like 3 stops, and they had logistical challenges because they had they could only fly it into airfields that had long, like really long runways. Well, Davis Monthan, it's only one runway there, but the runway is about 13,600 feet or something like that. It's over 13 grand, I know that. I want to say 13.5, 13.6. Really long runway for for a lot of airfields. So that's why they opted to, on the first leg out of Edwards, to fly it into Davis Monthan Air Force Base. I do have a couple pictures of that aircraft with the space shuttle on it. I think I have my Throwback Thursday album on my Facebook channel, page, whatever. If you guys are interested in that. But, yeah, anyway, that aircraft, I watched it take on, I watched it land, and then when they got through refueling and all that and getting back on the road in the air, I watched that thing take off, and I'd never seen an aircraft use so much runway. Yeah, like I said, we had like 13,600 foot long runway, and the aircraft, I was working down on, basically up on the north end of the airfield, out on the flatline when the thing took off again. And it had to have been at least 11,000 feet down down before it rotated into the air. I mean, it was way down there. It's like I'd never seen an aircraft come anywhere near that close to the end of the runway before finally rotating its nose gear up into the air. It was crazy. So, but I have that mentality because of that, and so I always think with trucking, the load comes first. The customer is paying the carrier to haul a certain amount of product, and they have kind of an expectation that they should be able to within reason, and and sometimes they might miscalculate or something, or sometimes they're just intentionally miscalculating, I say. I'm sure any other trucker will tell you the same thing. Alright, need to have a high-vis vest on and all that. Let me get checked in, and then we'll drop this trailer. Alright guys, we're all checked in. Still empty first. And after we're done doing that, we'll check in at the shipping office. But it should be about halfway through on the north side of this building here. Whatever where night just came from. I'm kind of eyeballing where there are any JCTs over here. I see one over there. Just kind of want to get a good gauge on whether we have any sitting over here. There's one right there, 6746. 7466 over there. Oh, he's trying to back into a spot there, looks like. Alright, let's get the lights off so I don't shine them at night. 6782, I don't know if it's running though. That one is not running. Damn it. I hate when that happens. Condensation from the air conditioning system gets on my window, and It's right where my convex mirror is at, so I can't look in it, and that's the one I look at the most when I'm watching my tandems and curves. Okay, I don't really need to worry about. Let's see. Only proceed once light is green and scale is clear. It's green now, so. I might have turned. No, it should be actually. Yeah, we're good. I'm on the heavy side there, 35.3. So.
The dog was 529 to scale.
You made that paperwork in there? Scale JCT.
Yeah, I need to go to work.
Alright, so yeah, I normally weigh about 34, somewhere between 34 and 34.5 empty, but with all that fuel I put on board, there you go. 200 gallons of fuel, that's 1,400 pounds. Alright, now we're going to come over here. We'll check in over here. See, there's a drop spot I can pull into, so I'm not in anybody's way. Or actually, no, I think we're on. Trying to make sure my tandems are going to clear that corner there. Alright, I'm going to stop right here. And right over there by that Martin trailer is where the shipping office is at. Alright, our load is not quite ready yet. It is in a dock door though. I think it's that one right there next to the Martin trailer. It should 6601. So we're going to go ahead and drop our empty. And we'll come back over. Yeah, it's it's 6651. Oh, 6601 is 6691. I mean, and then 2 doors over is 6601. So we're gonna drop it in drop this in the empty lot or the drop lot, whatever. Then we'll come back and. Hang out in front of our trailer before, and then wait for them to call me and say that they were done. I believe this is an opening right here. Yeah. Where's that pickup? Oh, they're back there, okay. We'll come over toward this stuffed in trailer. And come on back. Well, that reminds me, I noticed when I was retrieving my data files for my U.S. cold storage delivery, I did not have any passenger rear camera footage, at least on the way into there. It does have a tendency to do that to me. I don't know why, but basically I reboot the camera every so often to try to remedy that, but sometimes it still gets away from me. I even did reboot it before I went over there, but just one little glitch and it goes away and doesn't come back until I turn off and start back up or as we call it, cold reboot the camera. I'm going to get disconnected here and then we'll move over to the trailer. Forward, just waiting on my pressure to drop, and we'll bobtail around. Okay, this is a one-way lane over here, so we'll go around. We'll have to go past go around the scale and then circle back around. Looks like KLM might have left room there for me to get in there. I don't much mind if it takes a couple hours, whatever. I got time on this load. It's not a shitload of time, but I do have time. I was doing Shafter on the 15th at 07:45. I think that's what time it was. Yeah, I'll definitely want to get by before Kayla Lim gets in there. Alright, anyway, if I end up having to take an extra 10-hour break somewhere or whatever, it's not a big deal. Really, as long as I make it anywhere past the DFW area, anywhere at all onto Highway 287, I should be just fine, because I can go from I can get from there to my house in 2 shifts for sure. Alright, come on, dude. I thought the guy was working here at first, but he's got a KLM vest on. We'll just stay right there until we're done. Okay, I don't know how long this is going to take, so we'll continue this once we're done loading and hooked up and all that, and ready to scale out again.
have 5 hours and 32 minutes of remaining drive time.
Alright guys, we're already done here. I wasn't in the dock door very long before the yard jockey came up and told me that I was good to go. So I'm gonna pull forward. Let me get my doors closed, and then we'll scale it.
You have 5 hours and 32 minutes.
Yard move scale. I'll wait on this spotter to come in. Spotter's bringing a Walmart trailer into the lot. Right into here. Let's see. Good. Yeah, I think he's waiting on me. So he might be trying to put it in the same door that I'm pulling away from. There are a couple other vacant doors here, so
attention,
I wasn't quite sure
message
which
has
door.
arrived.
No, that was a drop spot. Okay, yeah, he is. Looks like the one that I'm pulling out of was the only one that's actually open. Alright, tandems were already at the 40-foot mark in the dock doors, so all I have to do is put a load lock in there. Load is the last pallet's about just about the same height as me, about 6'3"ish, maybe 6'4". So a little on the tall side.
I'm doing what it said, 25. Alright, man. Well, I'm just letting you know. So when they hit you with that paperwork, just know I told you. I ain't speeding, so I don't know what they gonna hit me with paperwork for. You better talk to them day shield drivers. They cool them off yesterday.
You got enough room to get around me there, chicken driver?
Yeah, go ahead and back up. You got it.
Alright, you guys got priority. I'll get out of the way here.
Any other time I say go ahead, but this, I got one more load. I need to get out of here.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man.
Okay, so yeah, chicken drivers have priority, but he says he's not in a big hurry, not in that big a hurry, so scale JCT.
Yeah, if you're going around really quick, I'm out of chicken truck right behind you. Let him go ahead, yeah. Okay,
This one's going to California. I'm going to need all three. Lights.
Hey, just get that thumb. That dang Marcus got Nick's parking spot. I'll be dang. they need to take away and finish it.
Alright, we're good to go. Weights are all good. I'm only 72,000 gross. We're, what, 11.8 on the steers, 42 and change. So it was only about 31,000 on the drives and right at around 30,000 on the tandems. So definitely good to go. I don't even need to worry about scaling it elsewhere, but I have something. Oh, there's another JCT over here. I don't know who showed up first though. Probably line up behind Kayla Liam. We'll see.
Take it easy, man.
You too.
You have 5 hours and 32 minutes of remaining drive time.
Alright guys, we're all done here. Just gotta check out of the guard shack and get out of here. I do need to send my departure and loaded calls as well. We'll be able to get rolling. Probably going to be pretty close to my 14th starting to run down, but I think I'll be all right. I'm going to say I can make it all the way to Shafter in 2 shifts if I can run out my clock, but now I'm already planning on stopping at my house possibly, so. Or yeah, stop at my house, do a 10, and then go deliver it afterward. This trailer feels like it's bouncing a bit, like the airbags are not inflated. I'll have to double check that. Okay, so definitely think there's something might be going on with the airbags. Maybe a bad input arm or something. We can at least get out of here. I'll double check it. I didn't have my flashlight, so I couldn't get a really good look. But in my opinion, the airbags are sitting lower than they really should be. I can tell by the ride height of the trailer. The amount of the gap that there is between the bottom of the trailer and the tires. I don't think it's as much as it should be. And the way it feels tells me it's also, there's a problem there. I'm not hearing any audible leaks though, and this trailer doesn't have an air ride dump valve like some of our trailers do have. So it tells me it's more likely an input problem and not so likely to be a bad airbag. Alright, so I've already sent my info, my departure and loaded info and all that. I already know my weights are fine, so I'll just do make what progress I can. End up getting myself into DFW area commute traffic, unfortunately. That's the only thing that sucks about waiting here. But it is what it is. So I'll probably see how many miles it is from here to my house. Past experience tells me anywhere beyond Dallas Fort Worth should be golden, but as far as getting home is concerned. Alright, it's about 35,000 pound load of chicken. And of course, I mentioned earlier, it'll be going to the Walmart distribution center in Shafter, California. If you're not familiar with Shafter, it is just west of Bakersfield. Just on the north side of Bakersfield, you go west on highway. Go on up 99 from where 99 and 58 meet up in Bakersfield. Just 7 miles, and you end up on 7th Standard Road. Okay, I got 2 4-wheelers coming from the left. Anyway, yeah, that'll be where this one will be going to. Turning there. Alright, we're gonna get on westbound 20, go navigate our way through the DFW area, whatever looks like, whichever route looks like is most favorable traffic wise. Get up onto US 287 and take the same way back to California that I took into this way. I really fucking hate that. How the condensation picks up on that that part of the window, so I can't see where where my tandems are at in relation to obstacles. Alright, so about an hour drive from here to US 80 over in Terrell. And another roughly hour from there over to Fort Worth to get me over in the direction of US 287. So I got 5.5 hours to work with. That should definitely be plenty to get me at least. I don't know. I don't know. I was estimating my miles. I was at 1,520 or something. So I have to do 1,900 total to get to Shafter, but To my house is quicker. 70 miles away. 1448. So yeah, only got to run about 250 miles to get a reasonable distance. You know, where it's not too difficult shifts to, you know, two good shifts, but not difficult at all to get to my house. So anyway, alright, I'm going to go ahead and call this one a night so you guys know what's going on now. Alright, just I'll try to get a compilation posted for you guys as well sooner or later. Yeah, somewhere in between all these pickups and deliveries, so we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching again. You guys have a good night.